to another India marks Army Day today with a grand and historic parade in Jaipur as the event is held for the very first time outside a military cantonment and in a public setting.
नायब सूबेदार रमेश कुमार तिवारी सेवानिवृत्त, नायक डॉक्टर दशरथ सिंह शेखावत सेवानिवृत्त। वेटरन अचीवर्स अवार्ड की ये पहल राष्ट्र के विकास और प्रगति में पूर्व सैनिकों के निरंतर योगदान को सम्मानित करने के प्रति
The Army Day parade is being organized on Mahal Road in Jagatpura, turning Rajasthan's capital city into the center of national celebrations, honoring the courage, discipline and sacrifice of Indian soldiers. Army Day is observed every year on January 15th to commemorate a defining moment in India's military history. On the day in 1949, Lieutenant General K.M. Cariappa took charge as the first Indian Commander-in-Chief of the Army, marking the transfer of command from British to Indian leadership after independence. Traditionally held in Delhi, the Army Day Parade has, in recent years, we have seen, rotated across states to strengthen public connect with the armed forces. Remember, after Bengaluru in 2023, we saw it happening in Lucknow in 2024, then in Pune in 2025, and this year, Jaipur is hosting the parade, underlining the Army's nationwide presence. These are the live visuals coming in straight from Jaipur. Beautiful visuals of the parade happening currently underway. This entire month is very important for us. On 15th January, we celebrate our Army Day. 26th is also coming nearby.
9 जून 1990 को भारतीय थल सेना की कोर ऑफ सिग्नल्स में कमीशन प्राप्त किया। आप कोर ऑफ सिग्नल्स के सीनियर कर्नल कमांडेंट की जिम्मेदारी भी निभा रहे हैं। आईआईटी कानपुर से एमटेक की डिग्री के अलावा आपने डिफेंस सर्विसेज स्टाफ कॉलेज, हायर कमांड कोर्स तथा राष्ट्रीय रक्षा कॉलेज में भी प्रशिक्षण प्राप्त किया है। मिलिट्री कॉलेज ऑफ टेलीकम्युनिकेशन इंजीनियरिंग मऊ तथा आईएमए में प्रशिक्षक के अलावा आपने पश्चिमी सीमाओं पर इन्फेंट्री डिवीजन सिग्नल रेजिमेंट, इन्फेंट्री ब्रिगेड तथा इन्फेंट्री डिवीजन का कुशल नेतृत्व किया है। विभिन्न महत्वपूर्ण स्टाफ पदों के अलावा विदेशों में भी भारतीय सेना का प्रतिनिधित्व करते हुए आपने नामीबिया में सैन्य सलाहकार के रूप में अपनी सेवाएं दी हैं। जनरल ऑफिसर 1 जुलाई 2024 से दक्षिण पश्चिमी कमान के मुख्यालय के चीफ ऑफ स्टाफ के पद पर तैनात हैं।
और अब परेड सेकंड इन कमांड मेजर जनरल रोहित मेहरोत्रा, जनरल ऑफिसर कमांडिंग 61 सब एरिया, सलामी मंच की ओर अग्रसर हैं। आपने एनडीए खड़कवासला तथा आईएमए देहरादून से प्रशिक्षण प्राप्त करने के बाद दिसंबर 1993 में अपने पिता की रेजिमेंट सेंट्रल इंडिया हॉर्स में कमीशन प्राप्त किया। 32 सालों के उत्कृष्ट सैन्य जीवन में आपने देश के उत्तर, उत्तर पूर्व एवं पश्चिमी क्षेत्रों में अनेकों चुनौतीपूर्ण पदों पर सेवाएं दी हैं। आप 1 जनवरी 2025 से 61 सब एरिया के जनरल ऑफिसर कमांडिंग के पद पर आसीन हैं।
Now the parade showcases the Indian Army's operational readiness, discipline and modern capabilities, while gallantry awards are announced to honor soldiers for their exceptional bravery and service. Nationwide events in schools and institutions are also being held to highlight the Army's contribution to national security and unity. Prime Minister Modi has also acknowledged the Indian Army's unwavering commitment, courage and sense of duty, highlighting the sacrifices soldiers make while safeguarding the nation under the most challenging conditions.
और मंच के आगे से गुजरते हुए सूबेदार मेजर संजय कुमार परमवीर चक्र और परमवीर चक्र विजेताओं के बाद अशोक चक्र विजेताओं का दस्ता मंच की ओर बढ़ता हुआ। अशोक चक्र भारत का सर्वोच्च शांतिकालीन वीरता पुरस्कार, मेजर जनरल साइरस ए पिथावाला अशोक चक्र विशिष्ट सेवा मेडल सेवानिवृत्त और उनके साथ हैं कर्नल डी श्री राम कुमार अशोक चक्र। आपने मणिपुर में अद्भुत साहस का परिचय देते हुए आतंक विरोधी अभियानों में विशिष्ट वीरता का प्रदर्शन किया। और अब हमारे सबसे वरिष्ठ वीरता पुरस्कार विजेताओं का दस्ता। देवी और सज्जनों, इतिहास के स्वर्णिम पन्नों में अंकित इनकी शौर्य गाथाएं हर भारतीय के लिए एक प्रेरणा है। सबसे पहले 1971 भारत पाक लड़ाई के युद्धवीर ब्रिगेडियर विजय कुमार बेरी महावीर चक्र सेवानिवृत्त और इनके साथ हैं ब्रिगेडियर आरपी सिंह के कीर्ति चक्र सेवानिवृत्त और उनके
Defense and geopolitics expert, retired Major General Sudhakar ji is joining us here on the broadcast. Sir, a very good morning to you. What a brilliant day to be speaking here at News9 and directly having the conversation with our viewers also. First up, I want to take your opinion, since this year's Army Day is being celebrated in a civilian area outside of the traditional cantonment area for the very first time. It is historic, certainly. How do you see the symbolic importance of the day?
Yeah, Sakshi, good morning. Happy Army Day. And it's a celebration to be celebrated by one and all in our country. And you have raised a very important question that this parade, which earlier used to be conducted inside the cantonment, has been thrown open to the civil areas. What does it mean? It means because for the nation, the last bastion of national security is Indian Armed Forces. And Indian Armed Forces are based on the paradigm of three principles, three golden rules. First and foremost thing, the country comes first, always and every time. Second, people whom you command come next. And third, if you are still left with some time, then look after yourself. So these are the three paradigms which highlights the duties of a citizen for the nation building or for the nation. So by bringing the last bastion of national security closer to the people, there are a couple of messages which are gradually, incrementally being disseminated. One, that the armed forces of India is people's armed forces. Number two, like the armed forces, they dedicate themselves for the nation coming first. Similarly, all citizens are expected to dedicate themselves to the nation. Duty comes first, then the right. And third and most important is that their own requirement should always and every time take the lowest and the least priority. So with this thought process and principles and guidelines, armed forces is making the contact base with the people, trying to get as proximal as possible so that people have a first view of the valor and the grit and determination and the gallantry action that armed forces has gone through since independence till now. And it also would induce a feeling of motivation and inspiration for the people to work hard and inculcate the aspects of discipline, that is time, dress, and place. Inculcate the aspects of the duties before the rights, demanding the rights. They must always say what they can do for the country, not what country can do for them. And third and most important thing is that awareness level is going up by the day, by social media and by medias and platforms other than the conventional media. It is the discretion of the people. They have to use their mind and always put the nation first and see as to what is right and what is wrong. They have to take the path of righteousness. Only then the nation can beat back any kind of inimical actions which are being designed by forces which are planning very, very devious designs against India's growth story of becoming the largest or the global power by 2047 or earlier than that. Back to you,
Right.
Sakshi.
We are speaking about 15th January. Why this day is so important, as today we are celebrating our Army Day, and that too holding a military parade for the very first time in history in a civilian area, that too in the beautiful city of Jaipur. Major General Sudhakar ji continues to stay with us here on the broadcast. Sir, at the advent of technological advancements, in an era where things are pretty much very heavily being organized and driven by social media, what do these visuals coming in straight from the lanes of Jaipur are teaching the youth of the nation with regards to the military and civil relationship?
Yeah, it's a very important aspect, Sakshi, you have raised military and a civil relationship. It's a central paradigm. Actually, when the nation goes to war, the army doesn't go, or the armed forces don't go to war. It is the entire whole of nation goes to war. When you talk about whole of nation, that demands the fundamental paradigm of civil military integration or civil military fusion. That is where the importance of civil military relationship comes in. For that, actually, this is a tremendous amount of initiative that the present dispensation has taken. It started from 2023. taking military close to the civil, it also brings civil close to the military. We are as much important to the civilians as civilians are important to the armed forces. Therefore, the relationship which is paramount when we go to war, we are along the border in the conflict zone. But behind us are the supply chain replenishment lines which have to be secured and protected. Take the example of 47, 48, 65, 71 operations, even during Kargil operations. If our people will do well, if they can take the mind back, while the armed forces were along the border, they were involved in the conflict zones, and behind them, particularly in 1965, the road networks they were being disrupted, the railway networks being disrupted, the pipeline which was carrying oil or water were being disrupted. So therefore, there is a requirement of improving the civil-military relationship, and we have to work together like a well-oiled machine. Otherwise, these things will turn out to be quite cost prohibitive whenever the conflict breaks out. Nowadays, we brought out another issue about the
Right.
technology. The armed forces display, which is taking place in Jaipur, it is demonstrating the state-of-the-art equipment
Absolutely.
Indian Army has, and the state-of-the-art equipment is based on. Earlier, it used to be based on 4 domains, 3 domains. Nowadays, it is based on 6 domains. The earlier domains were land, sea, air. The new domains which have been added now is including electromagnetic spectrum, the cyber and the space domain. Apart
Absolutely.
from all this, the last domain which I'm talking of is cognitive domain related to information warfare. It itself is a separate chapter. We require more time to dilate on the issue. For the time being,
Right.
it is for the civilians to understand that all the 6 components are on display today in Jaipur. It's a remarkable feat of activity which is taking place with lots of gusto and spirit and motivation.